Anniversaries are meant to be special. So as Turbocharged turns 4, we are celebrating the occasion in a very special way. We are out on a road trip in Meghalaya, which is one of the 7 states in the northeastern part of the country. Now what makes Meghalaya special is the fact that it is pristine, it is stunningly beautiful, but at the same time Meghalaya is terrifically underrated. And we are here to celebrate Turbocharged's 4th anniversary with 4 Mahindra SUVs. But this is not just another road trip to a remote part of the country, because Mahindra is one of the only manufacturers to make SUVs with 4 different drivetrains. So the XUV 3XO behind me is a front-wheel drive SUV, while the XUV700 here has an all-wheel drive system. The Scorpio-N we have with us is the rear-wheel drive version. And lastly, the Thar ROXX has a proper 4-wheel drive system. And with the winters upon us, this is also the perfect time of the year to be here in Meghalaya. And since it's our 4th anniversary, the idea was to drive these 4 SUVs with 4 different drivetrains to 4 different hidden gems in Meghalaya. All 4 SUVs are benchmarks in their respective segments thanks to their excellent packaging and their excellent safety ratings too. So while the XUV 3XO and Thar ROXX have both aced the Bharat NCAP safety test by scoring 5 stars each, the XUV700 and Scorpio-N have both scored 5 stars each in global NCAP safety tests. And having 4 5-star rated SUVs in its product lineup is a claim that not many manufacturers can boast of, and this is something that further cements Mahindra's positioning as India's leading SUV manufacturer. The XUV 3XO is Mahindra's challenger in the highly competitive compact SUV segment, but this one is a cut above the rest, and that's not just because of its smashing design or the premium interiors, because the XUV 3XO comes equipped with a whole bunch of features, and many of these are segment first. But one of my favorite bits about this SUV has to be the 1.2-litre turbocharged petrol engine that powers it, because the engine produces 130 PS and 230 Newton meters, and that makes the XUV 3XO the most powerful compact SUV on sale right now. The XUV 3XO also looks very striking thanks to its sharp design. But on the same note, its cabin is also spacious and the interiors are well appointed. A big highlight about the XUV 3XO though is its elaborate feature list, as the SUV gets dual zone air conditioning, Mahindra's Adrenox connected car technology and a panoramic sunroof, which is a segment first. The 3XO is also the first compact SUV to be equipped with level 2 ADAS. Inside, you get a 10.25-inch touchscreen display, wireless smartphone connectivity, wireless charging, 360-degree view, and a Harman Kardon music system. Then there's the 6 airbags, hill hold, hill descent, traction control, 3 driving modes, and an electronic parking brake, which all help the 3XO feel very premium. But a good SUV is not just about a long list of features or a good design, and in the XUV 3XO's case, besides having the most powerful engine in its segment, it also boasts excellent dynamics. In fact, with this kind of chassis and suspension setup, this SUV is helping me make the most of the twisty roads in Meghalaya, and it really does feel like one of the best handlers in its segment. The XUV 3XO thus felt very rewarding to drive on the narrow roads and hilly terrain in Meghalaya. Its steering also offers excellent feedback around corners, which was adding to my confidence. Besides which, the SUV offers an excellent balance between ride and handling, which is one of the reasons behind its immense popularity. The XUV 3XO was also the SUV I drove to our first hidden gem in Meghalaya, which is the Dawki River. This is the Dawki River. It's Asia's cleanest river, and that's because the water here is crystal clear. In fact, the water is so clean, I could just bend down and count the number of rocks beneath me at this point of time. Well, I'm also told the locals put in a lot of effort to ensure the water stays clean. They ensure that there's no pollution of any sorts in the river, and they even oppose the idea of a hydroelectric power plant here. More importantly, while this river serves as a natural border between India and Bangladesh, it is a hidden gem in Meghalaya. It's also known for the kind of peacefulness and tranquility that it offers because it's quiet, it's very calm here. There's lots of lush greenery and rock cliffs on both sides, and this is definitely having a very soothing effect on me. And while I was there, it felt as if everything around me had come to a standstill, given the sense of calm. But as much as I would have wanted to spend more time at Dawki, it was time for me to switch SUVs and drive to our next hidden gem. Let's talk about the XUV700 now, because in a lot of ways, this was the SUV that brought about the winds of change at Mahindra. And I say that because it wasn't just the first Mahindra to sport the new Twin Peaks logo, but it also helped us see a very different and a fresh approach from Mahindra in terms of making SUVs. Also, then there's the fact that when it was launched in 2021, the XUV700 looked world-class and packed in a ton of technology. In fact, it was the XUV700 that democratized ADAS in India, as it was the first Indian SUV to come equipped with Level 2 ADAS. And no prizes for guessing, the XUV700 also won the 2022 ICOTY or Indian Car of the Year award. In fact, even 4 years after its launch, the XUV700 looks absolutely smashing and very premium. I like the front end particularly, as it makes for a commanding road presence given the grille design, and also the styling of the headlamps and daytime running lamps, the flush door handles, and the 18-inch alloy wheels. The 700's interiors tell a similar story, offering a premium feel, especially with the massive single glass slab that houses dual displays for the instrument cluster and infotainment both. But like the 3XO, it's the feature list that is a bigger highlight here too. We're talking features like inbuilt Amazon Alexa, automatic headlamps and wipers, ventilated front seats that are also electrically adjustable and have a memory function, 360-degree view, 7 airbags, driver drowsiness detection, and a lot more. The XUV700 I'm driving right now is the all-wheel drive version, and over the past few years, I have grown fond of all-wheel drive systems. And that's because they feel like the perfect bridge between SUVs that are meant to drive on the road and those meant for driving off it. Well, there's also a lot of advantages to all-wheel drive systems when it comes to driving on the road, because they send power to all four wheels and thereby they maximize grip and also help in improving the SUV's handling. The all-wheel drive system helps you make the most of the performance offered by the engine in a safe and reassuring manner. And this gives the XUV700 an edge over its rivals, as it feels very confident, be it when munching miles on highways or taking corners. At the same time, its suspension and frequency selective damping help it offer the kind of ride quality that impresses chauffeur-driven and family SUV buyers as well. And on our road trip, the XUV700 was gliding over undulations and soaking up potholes well. As we drove to our next hidden gem, a living root bridge, the XUV700 was also offering a confident feel on sections that were unpaved with no tarmac, while its all-wheel drive system offered a confident feel despite the less than ideal grip levels. What you see behind me is a living root bridge, again a natural phenomenon that's specific to Meghalaya, and as the name suggests, this essentially is a massive bunch of tree roots that are alive that you use to cross a stream of water. Now the interesting part here is that the villagers or the locals purposefully guide the roots of the rubber fig tree to form this bridge across a stream of water, and as long as the tree that these roots belong to is healthy, the bridge can sustain weight for decades or probably even 100 years to say so. Meghalaya is home to many such living root bridges, and they are thus a common phenomenon for locals but an awe-inspiring thing for outsiders like me. And living root bridges are just one of the many wonderful things nature helps mankind with. Interestingly, this thought also made me reflect on Mahindra's product lineup, which currently consists of over a dozen SUVs including petrol, diesel and fully electric ones too. Like I mentioned at the start, Mahindra is one of the only manufacturers to offer SUVs with all possible drivetrains, and over the past decade or so, we've seen the brand soar to serious heights. What's also worth noting is that all four SUVs we were driving boast cutting-edge technology and are equipped with the latest in features besides being powered by world-class powertrains. Mahindra makes an SUV for everyone literally in fact and has the widest range of SUVs on offer, and these cater to buyers with varying needs. So while the Thar ROXX is pretty much the ultimate choice as a lifestyle SUV while also being immensely capable off-road, the XUV 3XO is the choice of young buyers looking for a premium, feature-rich SUV that's also fun to drive and yet compact enough to deal with city traffic. On the other hand, the XUV700 aims at appealing to family SUV buyers or those looking for a power-packed and feature-rich premium SUV that's also big on space and comfort. But the Scorpio-N is a name that's in a league of its own. And it's now time to talk about the big daddy of SUVs, the Scorpio-N. Now, the Scorpio has been around for a little over 2 decades, and that makes it one of the oldest nameplates around, but we've only seen this SUV get better with each generation. Of course, the Scorpio-N that I'm driving right now continues to use a body-on-frame construction just like its predecessors did, but it feels thoroughly modern and offers car-like comfort and handling, and it's even equipped with all possible creature comforts. But at the same time, the Scorpio-N looks properly butch, just like you would expect a true blue SUV to. The Scorpio's legacy is well over 2 decades old now, and the Scorpio-N takes that legacy forward with a finesse that probably no other nameplate has been able to. Its unmistakable road presence and the macho design ensure you arrive in it. But while it looks butch from the outside, the Scorpio-N also feels very premium inside and is high on technology too. You get soft door trims, leather upholstery, and a sunroof, along with a large touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity, Mahindra's Adrenox connected car technology, and more. But while it is on offer with a proper 4-wheel drive system, the Scorpio-N is also very popular in rear-wheel drive form. And what's worth noting here is that even without the 4-wheel drive system, the Scorpio-N I'm driving is very confident when it comes to treading off tarmac. But at the same time, there's also something else about this SUV that is very impressive, and that has to be the 2.2-litre diesel engine under its hood, which produces 175 PS and 370 Nm and is mated to a slick-shifting 6-speed gearbox. The engine feels very refined and offers a smooth power delivery, along with lots of torque even at low revs, which makes the Scorpio-N a joy to drive at slow speeds too. On the other hand, the Scorpio-N suspension setup and excellent ground clearance give you the confidence to tread off tarmac even without 4-wheel drive. And this is thanks to its Watts-linked rear suspension and frequency selective damping, which offer a very impressive ride quality on any surface along with a confident feel around corners. And in our case, the brilliant suspension was helping me drive confidently to our next hidden gem, which is one of India's lesser known but tallest waterfall. Meghalaya is not just about lush green forests and pine trees, because this state is also home to a lot of hills and mountains which have a lot of waterfalls. And we're at the Nohkalikai waterfall right now, where the water plunges down from a height of about 1100 feet or 340 meters, and that makes it India's tallest plunge waterfall. It looks like there's not a lot of water there right now, but we are in Cherrapunji, which is known to receive the highest amount of rainfall in the world, and that means there's enough water throughout the year for the waterfall to keep going. And this is yet another hidden gem in the state of Meghalaya. Lastly, let's talk about the SUV, the Thar ROXX. Now, the Thar ROXX is the newest of the 4 SUVs that we have with us here, but more importantly, it's unlike anything else on sale in the country, at least as far as SUV go. And that's because It does not just tick the right boxes, the Thar ROXX practically ticks every possible box for SUV buyers. And you would expect the Thar ROXX to appeal only to those looking for a hardcore, go-anywhere SUV, but that's not the case here. Its design and massive tires make sure the Thar ROXX has an unmistakable road presence. And this is an SUV that impresses everyone, whether you're an adventure junkie who loves off-roading and driving on trails, or a buyer looking for an SUV that's macho-looking, yet sophisticated, premium and comfortable. Driving it in Meghalaya also helped me explore its plush interiors and the spaciousness of the cabin. The interiors of the Thar ROXX are swathed in premium leatherette and soft touch plastics, and you also get a panoramic sunroof, extensive legroom and knee room in the second row, and a huge boot as well. The Thar ROXX is also equipped with an exhaustive feature list including Level 2 ADAS, Mahindra's Adrenox connected technology, a 9-speaker Harman Kardon music system, dual-zone climate control, ventilated seats and more. What's also adding to the likable feel of the Thar ROXX for me is the fact that while it is ready to go anywhere thanks to its 4-wheel drive system, the Thar ROXX is also very impressive on tarmac, and I'm really liking how easy it is to hold highway speeds or go around corners confidently. In fact, it's almost unbelievable how good the Thar ROXX is to drive on tarmac. Its 2.2-litre diesel engine adds to the SUV's impressive manners with its refinement and performance. And besides its excellent powertrain, the Thar ROXX also impresses with its brilliant dynamics on tarmac. Its all-new M-Glide platform and the independent front suspension and coil springs at the rear with the Wattling suspension, and also the frequency-selective damping and hydraulic rebound stoppers help the Thar ROXX handle so well on the highway and around corners, it's hard to believe the SUV uses a body-on-frame construction. So while the team continued ahead, I simply could not resist a detour to go off-road. Because when it comes to off-roading, few SUVs match up to the abilities of the Thar ROXX. Besides the excellent suspension, you also get 226mm of ground clearance, and this ensured I did not need to slow down even on challenging sections. The Thar ROXX is also equipped with serious off-roading features like Crawl Smart that allowed me to crawl ahead on uphill sections without using the throttle or losing traction, IntelliTurn that locks the inside rear wheel to reduce the turning radius off-road, and more, besides traction control, ABS with EBD, hill hold and hill descent. And lastly, we are in Cherrapunji, a quaint little town in Meghalaya. But this very town that you see behind me is the one that holds the world record for receiving the highest amount of rainfall in a calendar month and year both. But more importantly, it sits on a plateau that rises 660 meters above the valleys surrounding it, and it offers some breathtaking views of the valleys and also of the lush green forests and plains of Bangladesh. Cherrapunji might appear just like any other small town in the northeast, but its rainfall is what makes the town so famous. And this is a phenomenon that makes it a hidden gem, as it has helped in putting our country on the world map despite sitting tucked far away in a remote corner. As we enjoyed the views around us, the realization also hit me that Cherrapunji was a fourth and the last hidden gem on this trip, meaning it was time to head back, which had me reflect on the experience of driving the 4 SUVs together. The XUV 3XO, XUV700, Scorpio-N and Thar ROXX had all impressed us and performed flawlessly, making it very hard to pick a favorite. That's because each SUV has its own strengths, and while they are all different from each other, it's their born-tough DNA that binds them together. At the same time, it is worth noting how they are all so well engineered and built to cater to the needs of every possible SUV buyer, which is a mark of Mahindra's unmatched experience in making SUVs. And these 4 SUVs had also just helped me explore a region of our country that's considered remote but is pristinely beautiful, helping the team and me soaking sights, sounds and experiences that were only making us smile as we celebrated Turbocharged's 4th anniversary. Like a lot of good things in life, this road trip in Meghalaya has come to an end. Now, as an automotive journalist, I've had the opportunity to travel to every possible nook and corner of the country, but the Northeast somehow eluded me always. So it's been an awesome week of driving through Meghalaya and exploring the state, and doing so in the able company of these 4 world-class SUVs from Mahindra has proved to be the icing on the cake for me.